Coming back with another Kenpo Banga, which is our Thundering Hammers advanced drills technique today. So we're going to go over how Thundering Hammers can move into other techniques and how we can blend from what it phase to going into a formulation phase, all those different things. So we have from here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I know we talked about where this strike might go. This strike goes to the back of the head. Now, depending on where you hit the opponent, whether in the groin or it's to the rib cage, that determines on how their reaction will be. So once I hit here, I check their leg, this is gonna fold up. Now I've seen this too, which is it can be done as a waiter or it can be done coming up. Either one, you know, whatever fits. If I come in here, and then here's the head, either here or the head could be down here. Just depends how far they hunch over. So let's just talk about the base mechanics of the technique. So I'm going to have Mr. Jared come help me out today. So he's going to be working. We'll switch places. We'll go on this end. So when he throws the punch, we have the first punch coming in. I'm going to step, there's the block, and I shoot here the one shot, which is going right to the ribs or groin, depending on where he's at. This can come up here, or this can flip here, like we talked about. Now, if you flip it down, you could come down and check this way. Lift and check him here. I can check here, and there's my shot here. So I'm just going to kind of go through it, just kind of through it the way I do it, and then you guys can see how the timing works. So we have 1, that's the idea, and then we have that double shot with the back fist, palm. Thank you, Dave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Those angles can work, so you can either play with straight attack punch or punch that's off. So if I come towards the camera, there's one attack, and then here's the other attack. See how I'm kind of more squared versus completely sideways. And that will dictate which direction you're going to go with the form. Okay? That's one way you can do it. Alright? So if you take flashing wings, it's basically the same image. So if he does the punch again, so I go 1, 2, 3. Here's my flashing wings. But if you look at the stances, 1, 2, 3, again I am checking. And my Thundering Hammers goes down on the closed nail. Flashing wings, I lift on the closed nail. But I still have my hand swords. Now my hand swords are coming down with the wide nail to the closed nail. So I have this option, or I have 1, 2. I could come down with a hammer as well. So let's blend that in. So if he goes 1, elbow, elbow, chop, hammer. Let's say he started to lift here. Well, then you hammer. Okay? Now, 1, there's my thunder, there's my flashing wings coming right back up. Just the portion of the extension. All right, we'll cover some more drills. So we're back. So now, another drill we can do. This is a family grouping drill that can go with flashing wings. I kind of did a grafting with flashing wings, but a family grouping drill can also be the ones that I'm sure a lot of Kenpo schools do, or the dance of deaths versus the sleeper versus Thundering Hammers. So based on target covers, right? So you're going up the ladder. We talked about that in the last video. So when I throw a punch and Mrs. Perez blocks, so we have 1, and my hand seems to be down. She goes to the sleeper here. That's an open shot. So my hand seems to be lazy, or if it's right here, covering the ribs, she can go right to the neck. So again, same idea, we'll do the sleeper basically. So she goes 1 here, boom, and there's this shot coming up. Now, if by chance my hand was up, then she can either go, the thundering or the dance of death technique. So if I punch here, 1, 2, there's the dance of death shot, right? Now, this hand is just by chance just lazy, and the person just kind of just has it back like this, like a traditional jab, then she can get away with Thundering Hammers. So like 1, 2, okay? So now she can do her Thundering Hammers, all right? So that's a drill you can do as an advanced version towards having the student become quick with mental speed and decisions, and more spontaneous with their reverse sword here, hammer fist, reverse hammer, and then reverse hand sword up high, okay? So with that reverse swords, that's how we can travel this way. So that's something we can do that can work. Also, another thing is just adding in what if, like how you can lead into thundering hammers. So such as, like, let's say for example, she did a right punch or left straight punch, one, and then from here I step back to check, and then she comes up with the punch high, then I can shoot low, okay? So I can kind of bait her in. So basically if I drop this hand and expose my head slightly, I can bait the attacker to fill in that open window. So when she throws a punch, I can go 1, 2, and then from there I can shoot in. Okay? So that's another way we can play with the technique. It's how you can get them to shoot the punch and take the bait, basically. So if my hands are up, she might want to hit low. So let's say she does a punch low here. Well, I can shoot low and catch her here and bait her into this low shot. But let's say for example, I'm up like this and she does the front low punch and I step back. Now, let's say right here, I leave an opening here straight for the face. Now I can shoot in, there's my thundering hammers. 1, 2, okay? So, and that's how we can lead into the technique in a more realistic term. And a way where it's not like always a pre-setup. Even though what ifs are kind of like that, but eventually we start to figure out how many different ways can we get into this technique. How can we use the stances to assist us? Maybe my hands are tied up where she throws the punch here, yeah, and I block it. Maybe I shift my knee right behind her leg if by chance there was another opponent here. So I can check her height with this, trap this arm, and maybe swing her around this way with the elbow break, using the body as a fulcrum. So applying this fulcrum method with this. So I can take thundering hammers and apply it with a method of multiple attackers, right? So that's another idea I can use is mechanic and manipulation. So I can use my manipulation contact. So again, she throws a punch here, and check and hook here just in case. If I see an opponent coming from my 6 o'clock viewpoint, I can swing her and break here and use the fulcruming here as a method. Now, at this point, I can either engage with an elbow, or I can just come up and instead of coming down, I can loop and do my flashing wing mace. So I can use my kneel stance once again. So, with that being said, that ending, you have this and flashing mace using this dropping method. Here, you have thundering hammers coming round using this dropping method of the closed nail stance. And you also have flashing wings that uses the lifting method, okay, of that closed nail. So, once again, that ending of a family group all work together. So if I can set a technique up to work either way. So if I had her just here sideways, and let's say she's bent over. So if we take this, we can rain it down like normal thundering hammers, okay? We can lift her up like flashing wings, or if she's up medium height, I can then come up and use my gravity to assist my drop. So I can check here, and whip this way. Or I can move up the circle too, if it makes it better. But I can still drop my stance. I can still go, and drop my stance as I hit. So it's using that closed nail method to really assist in those gravity strikes. And what's neat about it is one's a lift, one's a circular overhead motion, and one's the reverse of that. One is basically coming downward this way, even if it's from a chamber position, coming straight down. And we talked about it in the last video about your elbows shifting into those 45s. I didn't get a chance to talk about, like I did earlier, was the way the direction you go, depending if your opponent's sideways, if you go straight dead on, or off to the angle, or if your person's in an angle where you can go dead on. It complements that straight strike, or the hammer going to the ribs. So, once again, it's just how you can get yourself into thundering hammers, and also working at figure eights. So, like I said, those are drills you can do, and just dissecting the first, couple techniques or basics to the technique is being able to look at where it relates into the other techniques in the system. And the last strikes were really known to be able to help me figure out that, well, you know, you can take that closed nail stance and do so much with it. And if you look at short form 2, it's a wide nail, but you're still using the nail stance, and one's coming up and down this way. So you have this idea of working that center line, as one is striking, hammering downward, one is lifting opposites. So you have opposites working together as you're dropping here, okay? Such as long form 1 was working straight line opposing forces. So from an up block to a straight strike to a forward bow. And in long 2, working from that reverse guard to a lifting motion and an upward motion, right? Using the forward bow. Or you can use the closed nail. You can still use this closed nail. So you're having this method in long 2 and this method in short 2, okay? You can see how they're opposites. Basically, one's lifting on this and one's coming down. So just seeing how those closed nails relate from the forms to the techniques is a really handy tool to help understand the system better, how you can implement those ending portions. All right, that's my take so far on Thundering Hammers, guys. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoy the videos. Give me some ideas on what you want me to go over. I'm gonna be starting a Patreon pretty soon, a special video class for Patreon subscribers. So with that being said, I'm gonna put up like 7. I'll probably do techniques from long form 7, put them on there. I'll go ahead and put the higher belt techniques such as long form 6, long form 5. Those will be on the Patreon. And plus I'll also put the Patreon subscribers also get first dibs on the videos I put up, okay? So if I put up something on Patreon, those guys get to see it before everyone else sees it on YouTube. But there will be a second portion where if you want to see the upper belt stuff, then the forms, the higher forms or extensions or like more aggressive attacks with the techniques, then I recommend you start looking at the Patreon page, because that's where you're going to get all the extensive, you know, really detailed stuff coming in. So guys, I hope you guys enjoy it. Give me some feedback. I love the feedback. I love knowledge. I love learning. I don't care what rank I am. I take everyone's consideration, and I take everyone's point of view with thought. And so obviously we're all here to share and learn together. So like I said, I hope you guys are being safe out there, enjoying yourselves, and you guys have a great day, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching the video. Click on the bell and subscribe to the YouTube channel.